Throughout history, humanity's greatest battles have often been against invisible foes, sicknesses that thrive in the air we breathe. These unseen adversaries have shaped the course of civilizations, altering the way we live, work, and gather. From the plagues of the past to the pandemics of the present, the threat has always lingered, just out of sight, yet ever present in our daily lives. In our quest for comfort and warmth, we've fortified our homes against winter's chill, sealing every crack and crevice to keep the cold at bay. But in doing so, we've unwittingly created perfect sanctuaries for illness, spaces where air grows stale and pathogens can linger, waiting for the next breath to carry them onward. The very walls that protect us from the elements can also trap dangers within. The enemy is unseen, yet devastating. Airborne viruses and bacteria that flourish in stagnant, recycled air. With every cough, sneeze, or even a simple conversation, microscopic threats are released, drifting through the rooms we call safe. These tiny invaders can turn a cozy home into a breeding ground for disease, especially when fresh air is scarce. Our ancestors, facing harsh winters and limited resources, knew a simple truth. Survival depended not just on warmth, but on pure, fresh air. They braved the cold to open windows, letting the crisp winter breeze sweep through their homes, carrying away sickness and restoring vitality. This practice was not just tradition, but a matter of life and death. They understood that a house must breathe just as its people do. Ingenious ventilation systems, louvered vents, transom windows, and clever architectural designs were all crafted to ensure a constant flow of air, even in the depths of winter. This wisdom was passed down through generations, a silent guardian against the invisible enemy. The cold winter air, once feared, was also a powerful ally, a natural cleanser that swept away the old and brought in the new. Each icy gust was a reminder that nature itself could help protect us, if only we allowed it inside. The chill was a small price to pay for the promise of health. Today we face rising respiratory illnesses in our sealed, comfortable homes. Modern insulation and climate control have made our lives easier, but they have also made it easier for sickness to spread. The condensation on our windows and the stuffy air in our rooms are silent warnings that we may have gone too far in our quest for comfort. The solution may not be new technology, but a return to forgotten wisdom. Simple acts, airing out bedding, opening a window, letting the cold air sweep through, can make all the difference. These time-tested practices remind us that sometimes the best answers are the ones our ancestors already knew. It's time to rediscover the winter air rule. Let the cold in and let sickness out. By embracing the chill, we invite health and resilience back into our homes, breaking the cycle of illness that thrives in closed spaces. The battle for our health is fought in the air we breathe, and it's one we can win, not just with science and medicine, but with the simple, powerful act of letting fresh air in. The invisible enemy may always be with us, but so too is our ability to fight back, one open window at a time. Long before the age of antibiotics and advanced hospitals, our ancestors relied on a simple, daily ritual to protect their health, opening the windows wide to let in the fresh air. This act was more than just a habit. It was a conscious effort to keep sickness at bay, rooted in generations of observation and experience. Even when winter winds howled and snow blanketed the ground, families braved the chill to crack open a window, believing that fresh air was essential, no matter the season. This wasn't carelessness or ignorance of the cold. It was a deliberate survival strategy, passed down through generations as a shield against disease. The movement of fresh air swept away the stale, germ-laden atmosphere that could linger in closed rooms, making homes safer and healthier for everyone inside. In fact, doctors of the past often prescribed fresh air as a remedy for all sorts of ailments, from tuberculosis to the common cold, believing it could speed recovery and prevent contagion. Each morning, families would shake out bedding and open up rooms to the crisp air, making this ritual a cornerstone of daily life and household health. Grandmothers, the keepers of home wisdom, would scold anyone who let a room grow stuffy, insisting that fresh air was the best defense against illness. Household manuals and guides from the era were filled with advice on proper ventilation, emphasizing its importance alongside cleanliness and nutrition. People knew, almost instinctively, that a tightly sealed home, no matter how warm, could become a breeding ground for sickness and discomfort. The daily exchange of air was considered as vital to survival as clean water or nourishing food, a basic necessity for a healthy life. A little discomfort from the cold was a small price to pay for a season free from the coughs, fevers, and illnesses that so often swept through closed-up homes. This simple, time-tested wisdom, embracing the open window, helped keep generations healthy, reminding us that sometimes the best remedies are the ones found in nature and tradition. Our ancestors' practices were rooted in observable science, even if they didn't have the words or tools to describe what they saw. They noticed patterns. Families who kept their homes well ventilated during the cold months seemed to fall ill less often, while those who kept their windows shut suffered more frequent sickness. Even if they couldn't explain it, their careful observations laid the groundwork for what we now understand about the science of air and disease. Cold, dry air disrupts viruses, especially those with lipid envelopes like influenza. These viruses are surrounded by a fatty layer that becomes brittle and breaks down more easily in dry, chilly conditions. In warm, humid rooms, viruses survive longer. Cold air dehydrates and destroys them. Humidity acts as a protective shield, allowing viruses to linger in the air and on surfaces. Dry air also shrinks respiratory droplets, reducing how far viruses can travel. When the air is moist, droplets stay larger and can float for longer, increasing the risk of infection. Mold and mildew, which thrive in moisture, are suppressed by winter's dryness. This means fewer allergens and less risk of respiratory problems caused by mold spores. Opening windows in winter dehumidifies and disinfects naturally. The influx of cold, dry air not only refreshes the space but also helps eliminate lingering germs and odors. The cold slows some pathogens, but dryness is the main weapon. It's the lack of moisture that truly limits the survival and spread of many harmful microbes. Our ancestors saw the results. Families who aired out their homes stayed healthier, and communities that embraced these habits experienced fewer outbreaks of illness. They practiced microbiology without knowing the term, relying on intuition and tradition to keep their loved ones safe. The winter air rule is natural, effective, and proven by science. Today, we understand the mechanisms behind these age-old practices, confirming their wisdom. Sometimes the simplest acts are the most powerful. By opening a window or letting in the crisp winter air, we're not just following tradition, we're harnessing the power of nature to protect our health. For centuries, homes were built to breathe. Made from wood, stone and brick, they allowed a constant exchange of air. Drafts and gaps weren't flaws, they were features. Fireplaces drew out stale air, pulling in fresh air from outside. Even in winter, the air inside was never stagnant. Pathogens and moisture couldn't accumulate as they do today. The leaky house was healthier, if less comfortable. Our ancestors accepted drafts for the sake of well-being. The breathable house was their first defense against invisible threats. After World War II, we sealed our homes for efficiency and comfort. Insulation, vapor barriers, and airtight windows became the norm. Central heating recycled the same air, eliminating natural ventilation. We forgot the winter air rule, trapping moisture and pathogens inside. Mold, viruses, and pollutants built up, making us sicker. Asthma and allergies rose as homes became more airtight. We traded health for lower heating bills. Our comfortable boxes became incubators for illness. A house that can't breathe endangers its inhabitants. In seeking comfort, we created our own sealed coffins. Science now confirms what our ancestors intuitively knew and practiced for generations. Recent studies show that proper ventilation dramatically reduces the risk of disease transmission indoors. Simply opening a window can cut airborne particles by over 90%, making spaces safer. Classrooms and offices with better airflow consistently see fewer illnesses among students and workers. Low humidity, brought by cold winter air, weakens viruses like influenza and helps prevent outbreaks. Modern research validates the old, time-tested practice of airing out rooms for health. The data is clear. A little discomfort from fresh air brings big, lasting health benefits. Ancient wisdom, rediscovered by science, is more relevant and valuable than ever before. We've mastered warmth but lost the art of healthy air. To survive winter, we must let winter in. If only for a few minutes each day, open your windows. Let the cold, clean air sweep through your home. Flush out the stale, moisture-laden air and the pathogens it carries. This isn't waste. It's an investment in health. Recreate the breathable house, if only briefly. Connect with generations who survived by letting their homes breathe. Science and tradition agree. The winter air rule works. Open your windows. Let your house and your family breathe. In this simple act, you reclaim an ancient secret to health and resilience.